So it's Sunny Ken, your fragrance consultant, aromatherapy consultant. Today I'm going to talk about a very important instrument in the perfumery industry. It's almost an indispensable equipment. It's called Gcms. So what is this used for? That's in short name for gas chromatograph mass spectrometer. So basically you can divide it into two main applications. One, the QC, quality control, checking the fragrance or essentials, whether it is adulterated or being so-called oxidized, or being too old to be used. And then you would use the called GCFID, gas chrome flame ionization detector. Whereas if you are going to do matching, then you would have to use mass spec. So that is quite a lot of price difference for GCFID, and then together with the older one, when you smell it as GC olfactometry, that would only cost maybe $200,000. But if you were to use it with the MS, you will end up to about 600,000 RMB. That is in Chinese RMB. So in short, you are basically the gas chrome is made up of the 4 or 5 major components. You use the inert gas, could be helium, nitrogen, hydrogen, and then you have the sample injection, which has to be a volatile liquid. And then you use the open column pack, which is mainly the carbon wax, to non-polar ones. And then you detect, for the fine fragrance, you detect the essential or the fragrance molecule, and then when it's break down. But when you want to, sometimes they might have solvent, so you would have 2 columns, the non-polar and the polar. And then together we have the electronic nose at the end, so you can detect the whole, you can smell it from the gas chrome olfactometer, and then you can smell with perfumer waiting at the exit of the machine. So everything depends on the thickness of the column and also the length of the column. The thicker of the wall of that column will have a better infinity and the definition of the fragrance breakdown. So whereas the mass spec, you would have like a fingerprint. You break down the molecules, and then you have also become fragments, and based on this fingerprinting process, you will be able to identify the majority of the molecule. And there are certain limitations, such as if it is a viscous liquid, or if you have like a resin type, then you have a problem. And the other thing is you must have a very rich, so-called expensive database, whereas it could be like 300,000 chemicals before you can really have any meaningful interpretation of the data. And sometimes if you have your fragrance houses, they are afraid that you might copy them, so they would have incorporate bases, or they could include like captive raw materials, or if they put in lots of rose oil or natural, then you have a lot of noises, could confuse the GCMS. So all in all, it's a very good machine for QC, but for analysis or cupping fragrance is a very ethical question.